Shalom.
Shalom
This is Sister T,
and Sister Ebony,
and welcome again to The Rock.
and today this is going to be part 2 of a previous video that we just did. Polygyny and helping find that sister wife. And in that video we hit on sisterhood, and we wanted to speak a little bit more on that and how sisterhood is a major part of multifamily or polygynous families. Sisterhood, building a sisterhood. Apologize, losing my thought. Sisterhood is a major part of family, polygynous families, being that the women that the husband marries are together majority of the time and have to work together to bring their husband's vision to fruition. They have to be able to work together. They have to be able to push their I'm saying master because we call our husband master, their master's vision, their husband's vision, and be able to run his program. And there's only one program that should be ran, and that should be his. And anything else would be running that woman's program, their own program. And most men, they want that sisterhood, that closeness, that togetherness of their wives. They may not, get it the way they want it, but if you are asking their husbands, the men, on whether sisterhood, whether they want how important is it for their wives to be getting along and to have that closeness and that sisterhood, majority of them, majority of them would say yes, that is something that they really want and is a high priority and of importance. Do you want to add?
Yes, most would say that it is a high priority. And if you was to ask the sister alone, or if we were honest, I don't know that everyone makes sisterhood as much of a priority as the husband wants it to be. I don't think we value it or prioritize sisterhood as high as our masters prioritize sisterhood. And I don't know if we fully see why sisterhood is so important. At least not in my experience. So, and I'm not saying my experience is not everything, but not from what I've seen. A lot of times women that I've seen or been around, or even ourselves at one point in time, will get by with like, okay, well, this is what the man wants, we'll do this, even if we don't see eye to eye, even if we don't really build that stronger sisterhood. Who cares, because we're all here for the man, and you think you're gonna live like that, and that's not the case. Me and Sister Ebony was talking about, really, sisterhood is overlooked in polygynous marriages sometimes, especially the ones that are having it. It's like, yeah, I'm your sister because I want this man, but really, I only care about you this much. You are only this much of importance. I really care about getting in front of this man's face, looking this way, being his wife. My sisterhood with you is on the back burner. But you can't have that in a successful polygynous family. You can't avoid sisterhood in a polygynous family. You're not going to avoid it. You could try, but it's only going to last so long. And one of the things we're discussing, that sort of behavior will destroy a man's vision. So you can't say you love your husband so much, you love his vision, you're there to support it so much, if you can't find a way to work on that sisterhood and get it to where your master is asking you to have it. There's no way, because remember, this woman, this this woman, his wife or his other wife or his other helpmeets, those are that belongs to him. That's his possession too. Those are his children too, that he has with her. And those siblings, that those children he has with her, and those children he has with you, and those children he may have with her over here too, those are brothers and sisters. And you, with your attitude, with that mindset, will tear up his family, his seed's relationship, his vision, his plan for his sons to carry on what the Most High started for him, or what the Most High led him to begin, to pass down to his seed. Your attitude and your behavior, because you don't want to get along with the next woman because you're thinking about you, will destroy all of that. And if it was up to the sisters, once that man is gone, you're one argument away, you're one bad disagreement away from destroying that man's legacy. And we already have a problem with having legacy and having a culture and coming together. We already been destroyed. That's been the story of our life, especially as people of color. Families have been destroyed already. The last thing we need is more destroyed families. So for sisters who are seeking like polygynous marriage, you're seeking marriage in general, but the man may have more than one wife, you have to understand that sisterhood is a top priority. Yes, you are there and you are becoming one flesh with the man. You are there, and that's what that's about. You have a covenant with the man, but you can't avoid his other helpmeets. It's not possible. You're not going to be able to avoid that and to help this man with his vision. It's not going to be so. Your attitude, you and your sister fighting all the time, you and your sister not seeing eye to eye all the time, or sisters, or having a difference in opinion, just shows that you're not there for him as much as you think you are. There's something in it for you that you're trying to get out of it. Because if it was about his vision, if it was about the growth of his family, if it was about him and the way that you put it, then you and your sister would get along. You would make sure of it. You would make sure of it that you and your sister will get along. You will make that a priority because you'll know how important it is to him. And as far as me and my sister, we've had those same struggles where it's like, hey, we're not getting along with this person. It's not that big of a deal until we start to understand, no, we have to get along. We need to get along. We should get along. Like, why would you have a family and not get along? Like, you see how silly that is? Over feelings and emotions, because that's what it comes down to. And we plan on, it doesn't matter if our master is living right here in the front of our face, or if the Most High was to take him, whenever he takes him, we know how important it is to keep pushing his vision. We know how important it is for us to stay together. We're not seeking, okay, well, where's the next man? And let's go operate the next man's plan. Our plan is to stick together and continue to operate and raise our master's children and operate the same thing that he was already operating. And once our sons are big enough, he'll have a plan for what the sons were supposed to do and how they'll take over. And that's our goal, to see to that it happens. Yes. That is the goal, not to say, well, fine, this is my baby over here, and this is my baby over here, and we going over here because he ain't here anyway,
Right.
And you just can't do that if you're planning on being that help me to your master and helping him get to his vision. Whatever that is that y'all gave to him, you would destroy it as a woman with that type of thinking. And you only can avoid your issues, your sisterhood issues for so long. You only can avoid them for so long. Sometimes people try to master avoid an issue. Let's just not talk about it. Let's just not deal with it. Hey, you go over here and I'll go over here, and we'll be around each other when we have to, when we kind of forced to. Like we're co-workers at a job or something, at a grocery store. Listen, I'll deal with you for 8 hours today, and then I don't want to see you no more. And I prepare myself to deal with you again tomorrow. Like, that only lasts for so long. You can't do that and say, but I love this man right here, and I love this children right here, and I love this and I love that. You couldn't. By doing that, you can't. You can't.
If that is one of the commands of your husband also, how can you say that you love him? That's the same thing as the commandment of Yah. If you love me, you would keep my commandments. It's the same thing with the husband. So how can you say that you love him when you won't keep his commandments, and then you won't be obedient when he's not around? You're only in obedience or try to portray that you're in obedience while you're in his face. Act like everything's okay. But really it's not, and you don't want to deal with the issue. You don't want to correct the issue. You're not taking his correction or admonishment about issues of, why maybe the sisterhood is not where it's supposed to be, or why you and his wives can't come together the way that they're supposed to be. Just another aspect of
Right. And this is what this was all about. Part 2 is just, another aspect of this sisterhood and coming together. Sisterhood is bigger than what you think. And that's really our point. And this is the point we want to stress. Sisterhood is bigger, a bigger part of the picture, a bigger part of the marriage than you believe it to be, or that a person may believe it to be. Maybe those who are well familiar with polygyny already knows that. Who already lives this way already knows that. But those coming in may not be aware of how important it is. Mm-hmm. You're like, well, I'm here for him, and shoot, as long as that's good, but that's not how it is. And you need to know that before coming together in the home and destroying it with the mentality that you got from first world cultures, or from the culture you came out of, if they didn't agree with that lifestyle, or if you haven't been taught that lifestyle. You need to know that before joining a man's move, dog. Why are you here?
He's showing up in our videos.
Every video he's been showing up. Go.
No.
He's like, hey, I'm a part of this video too. No, you're not. Like, why are you here? But you need to know that if you want to join a man's house, you need to know that mentality is the exact type of thing that men are trying to avoid.
That will tear his house down.
Yes. They said a woman tears down a man's house with her hands, and that's one way. And it's really a lot. It's really very hypocritical and selfishness on our part as women. Me and Ebony was talking, and we were laughing because, think about your parents in your youth. If you have siblings, especially if you have siblings, think about parents in your youth, and then think about you as a parent if you're a parent already. You'll be the first and the quickest if you have 2 daughters fighting, 2 sons, 2 daughters, whatever. They're fighting or arguing or can't get along. And we'll be quick. I know my parent did it. My mother did it. Mm-hmm. Where it's like, that's your sister. And you and your sisters, that's all y'all have. And these people out in the world, when they leave you, your sister gonna be there because that's your blood and that's your sister. Blah, 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 blah. And y'all need to get along. And y'all need to And they'll be doing all of that. You in trouble for fighting with your sister. Yep. Like that. Like, you couldn't just fight with them just freely. All this, y'all are sisters. Y'all better learn to get along. And blah, 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 blah. And you think about all that sort of stuff. You think it's any different in this sort of marriage? You're sisters. No. In fact, you're even closer than that because y'all have the same husband. Mm-hmm. Y'all have children with the same man, for crying out loud. But you would tell, and then you'll grow up and become an adult. I think he's showing us, like, he thinks about the idea when there's a sisterhood.
I was just going to say, talk about scared straight.
Right. We're just playing. But anyways, and you think about when you become an adult and you have children fighting. We do it. I know that.
Yes, I do.
Our daughters can get along great, and then they'll have conflict. And we're like, that's your sister. And you love your sister. And you don't let nobody, you say all those same things you heard your parents say about sisterhood and how close you need to be. And then you yourself will sit there with a sister in your face and be like, well, we ain't got to be that close. We cool with give me some space.
Right.
We need some space. You over here and I'm over here. Keep your babies here. And my babies will be over here. And when we ready, when master make us, basically. Right. Because that's when you're ready. You're only ready when your master make you. When master make us get along, we'll act like we buddies while we sitting there like this. You see some people sitting there like this, you turn this way, you ain't even really trying to look at each other. You like, Shoot, she only acting this cool because master right here. That's the only reason why she's smiling. All that stuff. And when you should be best friends, are so close that he should probably have to be like, hey, women, you're here for me, remember? Where's my time, women? You know, it should be more that way. You should be having this going on. You see this little one? He's showing us example. He like, y'all women with y'all emotions will tear up me going from mama to mama. See how I don't even care about all that? I want one, then I want the other. That's what we do. That's how we are. We'll tear something up. So sisterhood is important. It is a priority. If you are seeking a polygynous marriage, what are you looking at, baby? If you're seeking a polygynous marriage and you want to join a family and you want to join an established family, don't go in with the mentality or the mindset.
That would have been bad.
Don't go in with the mentality or the mindset that you, your own individual woman, and you want this separate relationship with this man that's so separate that you don't have space for your sister. You don't want to go in and do that. You talking about trying to destroy something. And then that's why they have all these problems. You go in and come up with a child or something silly because you can't get over you. Go in with the mentality that when I join that family, he's my husband. Because he's my husband, that's my sister. Because that's his wife. And I want to honor her or love her too. Because if he loved her, then who am I to treat her any different? She's a part of him. So when I treat her bad, what am I doing to him by treating her this way when she's a part of him? Look, the Bible says you become one flesh. If she one flesh with him, what? You're telling him this part of you don't matter because only the part of you that matters is me? Is that what you're telling him? If that's the case, he probably would have kept just you. It would have just been you. But that's not the case. You know, and the Bible didn't make it. Y'all didn't make it to where he only had to have just you. He loved you. He has space for you. He loved you. He has space for you. And however many more, he loved you. He has space for you too. So, but remember, each woman is an extension of him. He didn't go into her and become one flesh, and then she's a nobody over here. She is him. Just like you are him. And just like she is him. And Susie Q might be him too. So, and those babies is an extension of him. And the last thing you want to do is come in with your separatist attitude and mindset because you selfish, because you want to be the top chick, the top woman, the most seen woman, the most whatever adored and honored woman. And then you tearing up everything. You tearing up the children's lives. You tearing up his vision. You tearing up his family because of all of that. So
that would not be protecting his heart.
Right. And we have videos like that talking about a helpmeet is made to protect the man's heart. That's not protecting it. That's destroying it. So if you're seeking that type of marriage, just know that sisterhood, how important sisterhood is, and you seek it. If, as much as you possibly can, you seek it out and you try to make that happen. As well as the marriage. You know, the man is definitely top priority and focus. We all know that, but that's all the women's top priority focus is the husband. But y'all get together and do that.
Yes.
Like, he is our focus, y'all. You know.
Make his head this big.
Yeah. Yes. Because if we compliment our master and we do it together now, his head already get big. You gotta give him a compliment. We start doing it together. Hey, master. His head be like, So, sisterhood is important. Don't try to avoid it. Ebony over here trying to start something. Trying to start some mess. She's like, we like making his head big. Wait a minute. Stop. Sisterhood is important. Sisterhood is very important. You can't avoid it. You shouldn't want to avoid it. If you are seeking this type of marriage, you want to join a family, you want the man, you want the family, make that a priority. All of this is a part of it. His other wives, children, all that is a part of it. And that's the one way you can show your master that you are for him, for his vision, for what the Most High is leading him to do, that you're about that. And you want it to get to a point where he can safely trust, if y'all laid me to rest today, if y'all called my number today, that I know that these women, these helpmeets, that they're the ones that y'all gave to me, and I know that everything is going to be okay. They may miss me, the children will miss me, but as far as that, I know that this family will stay together, this family will stay intact, things will keep going, my sons will take over, this, that, you know, he will have confidence in that. You do not want him not being able to have peace because he don't know when he passes or he gets sick, for crying out loud, or anything, or whatever, that the helpmeets are not going to be at each other's throats destroying stuff. And then because you pissed this helpmeet off enough and this one pissed this one off enough, now people talking, I'm leaving. And I ain't coming back unless you get rid of her. Well, I ain't coming back unless you get rid of her. All that shenanigans. All that crazy. All that, you know. Whatever. Y'all watch television. Y'all probably seen some crazy stuff. I don't know. What is it? Real Housewives? Is that what you're telling us about? All that stuff that they be doing? I don't know. I ain't never seen an episode of that. But I know it exists. And you see how the women act. So, yeah, you don't want one of those. It's become a WWE match because y'all can't get along. So, anything else you want to add to this?
No, I think you hit it pretty good. Or you hit it pretty good while I was on.
I wasn't trying to hit it without you, man.
I know.
I was like, I'm all alone trying to focus on the video and hear the baby fussing. I'm like, come on back.
I know.
It took my partner from me. Anyways, so I hope this video was helpful. I hope that anyone seeking this marriage, I hope you can use these tips and that you apply these before joining the man's home. I hope y'all have a wonderful preparation day. Yes. I hope that y'all are blessed today. I hope y'all enjoy part 2. If you have any questions or comments, please leave in the comment section so we can answer your questions. We really appreciate you taking time to watch our channel and support the Following Yeshua channel. And until next time, shalom.
Shalom.